Hey everyone, in this video we're going to take a look at Grammar Exercise 1 from Chapter 21 of the Road to Latin textbook. Now, like I always tell you on these videos, if you're working through Road to Latin and you want more resources, feel free to check out my website. You can find all the grammar exercises there, everything from the book, plus more videos, explanations, just things like that that might help you out. Now, since we're looking at the grammar exercise, the assumption we're going to make is that at this point, you've already read through all the grammar, you feel really comfortable with it, you've practiced it a little bit, on your own, and hopefully you've read the stories too. You want to remember in Road to Latin, the stories really take the grammar and put it in context for you. So if you can, work your way through the stories, you'll probably have a really good understanding of the grammar. So in my class, I like to use these grammar exercises as something after we've already read through the stories, we've gone through the notes, just to make sure that we really understand it. So if you haven't done any of that yet, right, if you haven't read through the grammar notes on your own, you should pause the video, go do that, and use this video as just a double check to make sure that you're on the right track, right? Make sure you've done Grammar Exercise 1. And if your answers are pretty close to mine, you can feel good that you're on the right track. Okay? So chapter 21 is all about future tense. So it's something we've been learning the past few chapters. But now we're bringing it all together into one last chapter to kind of cover everything. So in part 1 of Grammar Exercise 1, it's asking you to just translate into English, right? It says give the English translation of the following Latin verb forms, okay? So you start with agetur. Now you want to remember that here, the thing you're trying to figure out is make sure it's future tense, right? And then you want to know, is it active or passive voice? So this comes from ago agere, which means to do, right? To lead or to do. The E, when you have a third conjugation verb, after you drop the RE and there's an E there and that vowel, that means you have future tense. So the E in agetur is what's making it future tense. But notice the TUR is passive voice, right? So it's not saying he, she, or it will do. It's saying he, she, or it will be done, right? And in this case, it probably makes the most sense to say it will be done, right? Agetur. Next, you have kure, right? Kure just means he, she, or it will run. Again, kure is a third conjugation verb. The E before the T makes it future tense, and it's an active voice ending with the T. So again, he, she, it will run. Next, you have sedetis. This just means you all sit. Okay, so the interesting thing here is, again, you have to know your conjugation. Sede or sedere is a second conjugation verb. So if it were future tense, it would be using bo, be, be, boo. There's no bo, be, boo here. It's just present tense, right? So you all are sitting, or you all sit, however you want to do it, but it's not a future tense verb. Next, you have leguntur. Okay, now here, again, we have lego legere, which means to read. It's a third conjugation verb, but notice how there's not an E in front of the NTUR, it's a U. That's a giveaway that it's present tense, okay? The NTUR ending is passive, so this is third person plural, passive voice. Legontur means they are read, or they are being read. Imagine books or something like that, okay? Next, you have habetur. Now, habetur, again, is passive voice, but it's habeo habere, which is a second conjugation verb. This is not future tense. It's just present tense, right? There's no bo, be, boo. So habetur means he, she, or it is held, or is being held. Next, you have audiemini, right? So this is the verb audio, audire. It's a fourth conjugation verb. There's an E before the mini ending, which makes it future tense. Remember the A and 5 E's is for third and fourth conjugation verbs. Mini is a passive voice ending. It's second person plural, passive voice. So audiemini means y'all will be heard, right? You all will be heard. You have to put the B in there to make it passive, okay? Next, you have venietis. Again, venio venire is a fourth conjugation verb. You have the E before the TIS, so it's future tense. You all will do something. The TIS is second person plural, active voice, so it's y'all will come, right? Venietis. Next, you have eremos. Now, eremos is the verb to be in the future tense. It just means we will be, right? Eremos is first person plural. Next, you have legentur. Now, this goes in contrast to leguntur, which we saw a couple examples ago. Legentur with an E, now it is future tense, okay? Because again, lego legere is a third conjugation verb, so the E makes it future. So this is they will be read. Next, you have celebrabunt. Now, this verb is first conjugation verb, and so it's using bo, be, boo here. The boo at the end, bu, makes it future tense. The nt is active voice verb ending, so it's just third person plural. Celebrabunt means they will celebrate. Okay. Next, you have volabit. Again, the bo, be, boo gives it away. It's because volo volare is a first conjugation verb, to fly. So volabit means he, she, or it will fly. And last, we have mitemini. Now here, again, you have mito mitere, which is a third conjugation verb. You have an E before the mini ending, so it's future. Mini is passive voice, so it's second person plural, passive, future tense. So mitemini means y'all will be sent, right? You all will be sent. Okay, now you go on to part 2, right? And there's only 2 parts to grammar exercise 1. And it's basically the reverse. Now you're writing in Latin. So they're giving you English and you're just flipping it into Latin. So the first one we have is they will fly. Now again, you want to look up the verb to fly, volare. It's future tense. It's not passive, just active voice. So it's going to be volabunt, right? You have to use bo, be, boo. Next, you have they will sit. That's going to be sedebunt. Same thing, the bo, be, boo, because it's future tense, and you have a second conjugation verb. Next, you have they will run. This is currere, right? A third conjugation verb. So it's going to be current with an E, right? ENT is what's making it future tense here. And these are all active voice verbs so far. Next, you have they will come. Venio venire. You make it venient. The ENT makes it future. Next, you have you singular will be called, right? So the book marks out you singular versus you plural. So you can assume for the rest of them, whenever they say you, instead of you all, it's probably you singular. But you singular will be called is future tense, but passive voice. You can tell by the be call. Okay, so you have voco vocare, the verb that means to call. You have future passive, so it's going to be vocaberis. Remember, we usually use bo, be, boo. It's going to be be when it's second person singular, and you have that passive verb ending, right? So you have beris there. Vocaberis just means you singular will be called. Next, you have you will be heard. Again, future passive voice. This is audieris. Again, you have the E there because it's audire. It's a fourth conjugation verb, so you're using the A and 5 E's as sort of the marker for future tense. The RIS is just the passive ending. So here, since it says you will be heard, we're assuming it's you singular, right? Just because that's kind of what the book was leading you to believe. If you wanted to, you could make this mini instead of RIS, and you would be you all will be heard. Kind of do whatever you need to with that, just because it's not specifically saying if it's you or you all. Okay. Next, you have you will be led. Again, future passive. It's ageres. The E there, rather, is what's making it future, and the RIS is what's making it passive. Okay. You singular will be led. Next, you have you will be advised. Again, future passive. It's going to be moneberis, right? The BE is because it's moneo monere, which is a second conjugation verb. So you're using bo, be, boo. In this case, beris is what you use when you have second person singular, and it's passive. Next, you have he will await. So this is not passive anymore, right? It's just normal future tense. It's going to be expectabit, rather, right? So expectare is a first conjugation verb. Use the bo, be, boo, and just add on your ending, where expectabit is he will wait, or will await, rather. Next, you have he will be awaited. So it's the same verb, but now we got to flip it passive. So expectabit becomes expectabitur. They're basically the same thing. You're just using a passive ending. Next, you have he will put on, right? This is induo induere. It's a third conjugation verb. So induet with an E is what makes it future. The T is because you said he will put on. And lastly, you have they will say. So this is dico dicere. It's a third conjugation verb. So same idea. You need the E to make it future. It's going to be decent, E-N-T. And again, the N-T is there just because you're saying they will say, right? It's active voice, third person plural. So once you get the hang of these, I know we've done this for a few chapters now. It's not that bad. It's just a matter of practice. Okay, so I would say if you could do this, get all of them right or pretty close to all of them right, that's a good sign that you understand what's going on. If there are any that you didn't get, just double check against what I gave you for an answer key and try to work through where you might have gone wrong, and you should be okay, right? Just keep practicing it, and you're looking to be able to do all of these without too much trouble. That's how you know you're probably ready to move on and that you've got the grammar under control. If you have any questions at all, put them in the comments below. I'm always happy to help you, but otherwise keep working through these grammar exercises, keep practicing all of it. If you get any wrong, keep practicing until you can get them right, and you should be fine. Good luck.